Hi, I'm Catherine Nixon. You can call me Kat though. So I am a third grade teacher in Union City, Michigan, a very, very, very small town. I actually am teaching 29 students this year, so it is very tiring for sure. In a rural community, this is my third year teaching. I am also taking the 591 class, so I am tutoring a second grade student using the Orton Gillingham method and absolutely loving that. I am even applying that to some of my teaching practices with small group instruction with students who are really struggling to read in third grade. So I really don't have much to update you on my personal life. I moved into a brand new farmhouse in the summer, and the transition has been definitely hard, slow process, but slowly settling in. Wow, favorite books. I could not pick, but I happen to have a few on hand that I keep in the classroom that were my favorites my favorites a while ago. First, Bridge to Terabithia by Katherine Paterson. She's one of my favorite authors. This is a book that I read, one of the first books I read independently, and felt really comfortable and excited reading it. So I think that's why it's always stuck with me. This is actually my copy, and my students love that I actually read this when I was little. So love this book, just the adventure part of it and the underlying themes. I would say this would be good for third to fifth graders. A book that I don't have the actual book, but this is the author made the book The Art of Racing in the Rain, and then it was very popular with adults, so he made a book for young adults, I guess. So third, fourth, fifth, I would say maybe fourth and higher, depending on their maturity. But this is a story in the perspective of a dog and what his perspective of the things that are going on in his human's life. So definitely brought me to tears many times in the adult version. The adult version isn't inappropriate, but I think they just downed it a little bit for students to understand more. A book that I read 2 years ago to my students was just an absolute all-time favorite read aloud, was a book by Louis Sachar. I won't say his last name right. Ooh. Fuzzy Mud. This is a newer one. I could go on and on about it, but I'm not going to waste your time. But just the adventure aspect, I think you could tell that adventure is definitely one of my favorites. And I love reading adventure with my students because I am very enthusiastic when I read, so they can really catch on and they get really excited. And this is definitely one that it's hard to put down. Say that. Last but not least, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about The Wild Robot. This is actually the second one, The Wild Robot Escapes by Peter Brown. A student is borrowing the first one right now. This has been a fantastic read aloud to my students. I love the connection between technology and nature, and I think the students do too. This has actually been a surprising book to read and see how many times they can actually predict what is going to happen before I can, which is insane to me. I think that is so cool that their brain is just, their mind just spinning. You can see it happening. And this has just been a favorite for us. I actually haven't quite finished the book, so I try to get a little bit ahead of them and then read it with them. So I'm definitely interested to see how that one ends. But Roz, the main character, she is just incredible, and I think all humans can learn from this robot who is just a magnificent human being, and knowing how this robot was born into this world and did not have any idea of how to live, but was just adjusting and reacting as she went, as she struggled, and was able to always do the right thing no matter what, and always connect with other animals, or, well, basically other animals, now in this book, humans, and always fix problems. She just has this, like, she can't do any wrong, and I think that my students love that about Roz, and they, like, want her to be a real person. So anyway, I could go on and on, as you can tell, about these books. But I know this video was supposed to be a lot shorter, so anyway, like I said, I'm Catherine, and I can't wait to hear your book suggestions and your favorites, because I obviously love reading, so looking forward to it.